News you can trust. Opinions that matter. Now, Ben Fordham comments.
Well, there's a very interesting judgment that has come out of our justice system. It's interesting because of the way it has been written. It involves an adult offender who did terrible things to a young boy in a shopping centre bathroom in Bankstown. The victim was 14, the offender 31. They did not know each other. And the predator had committed crimes of a sexual nature before. A district court judgment released last Monday explains this included sexual and indecent assault and grooming a child under 16 for sex. The incident in Bankstown happened in February 2021. The 14-year-old boy was with family friends at the Bankstown Centro shopping centre. The offender approached the young boy in a bathroom and awful things happened. But if you're reading the judgment from the District Court of New South Wales, you may be left confused. The judgment from District Court Judge Alistair Aberdeen says this about the offender. She intentionally incited a child aged between 10 and 16 to sexually touch a person. She reached out with the other hand and grabbed the victim's right hand. The offender started moving the victim's right hand towards her. She had seen the victim in the toilet room before she commenced to commit the sexual act. She has been in continuous custody since April 2021. Prior to this offending, the offender had committed serious offences. This is not a record that entitles her to leniency. So those quotes come directly from the judgment. Based on what I've just read, let me ask you a question. Is the offender male or female? She reached out, she intentionally incited a child, she has been in custody. If you're painting a picture in your mind, you may think a female offender preyed on a young boy. Well, that's not what happened. Despite what I've just read to you from the New South Wales District Court, that's not what happened here. Because elsewhere in the same judgment, the offender is referred to as a male. It details the crime he intentionally carried out. It outlines what the offender did to himself in front of the child, and it discusses his predicament. Hang on a minute. Weren't we talking about a female offender? How did the female suddenly become male? The district court can't make up its mind. In paragraph 1, they use the word she. In paragraph 3, the words he and himself are used. In paragraph 4, it's she again. And if you think that's confusing, get a load of this bit. And I quote from the judgment. The victim saw the offender's pants partially down and her penis was exposed. Her penis? They're two words you don't often see side by side. Twice in the judgment, we read about her penis. Here's the other example. The offender continued to masturbate her exposed penis. The judgment then reveals this about the offender. Born a biological male, she identifies as female. So that's why the judgment switches between he and she. The convicted criminal has changed genders. He did the offending. She is in custody. It's noted in the judgment, the offender identifies as female and is referred to as she, her. But elsewhere in the judgment, the offender is referred to as he, him. 1 minute the judge is talking about the offender masturbating himself in front of the child. The next minute it's referred to as her penis. Make up your mind, please. The judge notes that the offender has experienced difficulties behind bars. It talks about, and I quote, the inconvenience to her from being apparently placed in the male part of her correctional centre. It also mentions the offender's inability to obtain hormone replacement treatment that she wanted. By the way, the name of the convicted sex offender is Kadir Kamoon. So what happened to Kadir Kamoon last week? Well, the District Court Judge, Alistair Aberdeen, upheld an earlier sentence handed down in the Bankstown local court. That was a 2-year sentence. But because of other unrelated offences, all up, Kadir Kamoon will spend just under 4 years in jail. I'd just like to make this point. When someone identifies differently to the gender they were given at birth, I'm more than happy to respect that. If he wants to be called she, or if she wants to be called he, that's fine by me. But I cannot understand why we need to suspend biological reality in an official judgment about a child sex offender. This is a court of law. A child had his safety shattered by a grub who targeted him in a shopping centre bathroom. Courts are supposed to deal in facts. The law is meant to be black and white. So when dealing with this sex offender, why did the New South Wales District Court create a puzzle with pronouns? Well, we've just heard back from the Minister's office and they say that the offender is in a male prison. Joining us on the line, our legal expert, Sam Macedoni from Macedoni Legal. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Ben.
You've read the judgment. What did you make of it?
Look, it's pretty hard to read. It's pretty hard to understand what's going on, and you wonder why we're switching from one sex to another when maybe the judge should simply have been using neutral terms like the offender.
Or the word they.
Yeah, they. They, there. I mean, that's the more accepted situation. But where you've got one paragraph that talks about he did this and he did that, and then in the next paragraph it's she did this and she did that, and talking about her penis. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's a bit of a mockery of the whole situation.
I thought when it came to the legal system and court judgments, it was supposed to be black and white.
Well, it is supposed to be black and white, but we have this woke situation at the moment where if you identify as female when you were born male, this has to be accepted by society, and that's basically where the they there came in as opposed to him her. And it's a much better way of describing it, but it's still very confusing, and it certainly isn't as black and white as the normal judgments that you'd read from a court.
Always good to get your expertise, Sam. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure, Ben. Take care.
Sam Macedoni from Macedoni Legal.